Are you a little confused on how to arrange your beats in FL Studio? Have you got an 8-bar loop and you like what's going on, but you're not quite sure how to break things down all the way into a full beat? Make sure you stay tuned to the very end of this video because I'm definitely breaking it down for you here. All right, so basically how I do it here in FL Studio, I have a pattern that's strictly for melody, and then I also have another pattern that's strictly for drums. So that's how I do it. I do all the drums in one pattern. I do all the melody in another pattern. I just let it keep going in an 8-bar loop. And then if I come back to this beat and I decide, hey, there's something to this beat, I can actually finish it out. Then I'll come back and do what I'm gonna do here now to break down the beat and structure it for an entire potential song. So I'll just play the melody for you and the drums for you. This is kind of like an old 2 Chainz type beat I was in the mood to do. And having the melody on one pattern and having the drums on another pattern is pretty cool because you can kind of do little drops for yourself and make sure the beat really bangs when it actually hits for the artist. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna play the melody, then I'm gonna have the drums drop in. It's gonna sound pretty cool and really give us that energy. So let's take a listen. All right, pretty cool, right? That's the power of having the melody on one pattern and the drums on another pattern. So now you might be thinking, okay, Desmond, that's pretty cool, but how do I break things down? How do I have everything separated so I can see what's going on? Maybe you're coming from a platform like Logic where everything is just laid out for you nice and neat, and FL Studio seems like it's just loops and loops and loops. You're not quite sure what to do. So this is what I do. The first thing that I actually do personally is I go through, and as the beat is playing, I actually name all the sounds and all the drums something that's actually more standard, like kick, snare, piano, things like that. And I'm going to show you why in a second. So I'm going to do a little editing magic and I'm going to name everything here as the beat plays. I'm just going to fast forward snippets so for time's sake. So 1, 2, 3, and all right, and we're back. So as you can see here, I have everything properly named. So I have strings, piano, sine, 808s, crash. So I know where all my sounds are in this beat. And what we're going to do here now is we're going to highlight one of these tracks here and just hit Command L. And as you can see here, this automatically sends the sound to the mixer. So this can help us do additional volume balancing and eventually mixing. And we can actually highlight, just click and highlight multiple sounds here in the channel rack and then hit Command L. And as we can see here, everything is automatically named. And what I like to do is I tend to like to move the instrument sounds on Mac is Option and then hold Option. They hit like the right arrow and the left arrow. On PC, that should be Alt, and you could just move your sounds around the mixer here. These are just organizational things that I do relatively quickly to the point that I even kind of forget about it. So I like to have the drums on one side and the instruments on another side. It's just kind of more of an organizational thing that I like to do. As the beat is playing, as I'm grooving to the music, as I'm kind of freestyling to it to see where the artist would fit, I like to do these organizational things just to keep everything in line and make everything faster. You know, the workflow is very important when it comes to music. Also, another important thing that this actually does is, let's say you're ready to track out this beat, get ready to export those stems and drop it into something like BeatStars or whatever you use, WeTransfer, and you're trying to sell it to a recording artist and the engineer actually needs all the tracked out sounds. What's going to happen is FL Studio is going to automatically name those individual sounds this. So it's nice and neat for the engineer. So they know, okay, this is where the 808 is, the piano, the synth, everything like that. So they don't have to go through the process of naming everything. You know, I've done that before. It's very frustrating. It takes a lot of time. And as producers, you definitely want to be on an engineer's good side. So this is just a good best practice to do. Okay. Now, one of the main added benefits of naming the sounds is what's going to happen is now I'm going to break everything down into their own individual patterns. So I'm just going to go ahead and right click here on pattern 2, which is my drum pattern. Then I'm gonna go ahead and click on split by channel. Bam. So now all those sounds in my drum pattern are all split down. So now if I want to do little drops, if I want to take things out, if I want to, make the beat really move, I want to mute the hi-hats, I can do that. So now let's go here, click on this pattern here. So see, this one isn't named, so this is our melody pattern. So I'm gonna go ahead and right click on this, click on split by channel, bam. So now I have all the sounds broken down. All right, and the reason why you see crash here is I just went ahead and dragged and dropped the crash wave file right here into the FL Studio playlist, just because you could do it any kind of way. That's just a habit I have. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move the crash all the way down, kind of get it out the way. All right. Then what I like to do is I like to go ahead and delete those. Just go ahead and ignore this insert one. This is just something I was trying out, so just ignore that. All right. So what I like to do here now is I like to highlight all the patterns. I like to pull it over, and I like to drop it on the track. You see here, everything's out here. Some people like to do it like that. I like to drop it on the track. Let me show you why. Bam. Once you drop it on the track, you can see here that everything is named, right? So what I like to do, I'm coming from the world. I used to make beats in Logic and things like that. And one thing is I like to have everything nice and balanced. See, there's no extra space. Everything is nice and blocked off, so I know where everything is, all right? So I'm just gonna move this crash up here a little bit so I know where everything is. All right, I'm just gonna right click on this, click on auto name. So now I have all my sounds. Perfect. I got all my sounds there. So if I'm gonna, break things down, I'm gonna do Command B. On PC, that should be Control B to do this duplication process. So on my Mac, I'm gonna do Command B, Command B. So what I can do here now is I know where everything is. I can go ahead and take out the crash, take out the crash. This is gonna be the intro part. So I'm just gonna take out all these sounds. I'm gonna probably take out that. I'll probably take out the 808s. Take out the strings. So I just want things to kind of start to build up so I can do something like this. All right, then now you could do whatever you want to do. You could take out the hi-hats, take out the snaps, do whatever kind of drops that you want to do. Now, if you're coming from a platform like Logic, you may be thinking to yourself, okay, that's cool, but I don't want everything to just loop and loop and loop. I want to switch up the drum pattern. I want to switch up the kick pattern at a certain part. I want to switch up the kick pattern for the hook. I just want to do a special cool bounce. Don't worry, I got you. So what we're going to do here now is whenever you see a sound that you want to switch up for whatever reason, you don't want it to just keep looping and looping and looping like you see here. What you can do is we're going to click on this little piano icon right here. Then whenever we do that, we're going to click on Make Unique. So whenever we click on Make Unique, we have this duplicate of the original kick pattern. So we see kick right here, then we see kick number 2. So kick number 2 is the new one that I just made unique. So if you want to go ahead and switch it up and try whatever different kind of cool groove, you can do that. And then once it gets back to kick, that's going to be the original kick pattern that you started with. So those are just different kind of cool ways you can switch up the groove and the bounce. I know on platforms like Logic, everything is unique. So if you change something on the hi-hats here, it's not gonna affect the other little patterns. But on FL Studio, this is more so loop based. So everything's gonna change. So, this is how I basically do it. This is the basic format that I follow to keep myself organized, make it easy for me to finish a beat, make it easy for me to start the mixing process. I'm just balancing the audio from here. Everything is essentially at the level that I like, but I'm just going to go ahead and fine tune everything here. And I know where each and every one of my sounds are. So that way I'm never confused. One mistake I see a lot of producers do is they leave all their sounds unnamed. So it's really confusing whenever I take a look and I'm like, okay, what's what, what's where, then it can cause you to chase your tail and waste time. And when we're making music, we want to focus on just making the music. So these are a few productivity hacks that I like to use when making beats in FL Studio. I hope you guys implement some of them. Use it to create some fire music. And guys, if you need more help, make sure you click on the link in the description or in the pinned comment to book a one-on-one coaching session with me. I can help you with any type of production issue that you may have. I've been doing this for quite a while, so if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. Also, you can submit to the Heat Check Live Beat Review Show that I host here on my YouTube channel every week, where I just review your music and give you some feedback on what's happening and how you can improve. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe. My name is Desmond A, and I'll be back with more great videos. Peace. Wait, before you go, make sure you go to DesmondASounds.com, where you can get free FL Studio patcher plugins, free loops, free guides, everything you need to level up your music production. Once again, go to DesmondASounds.com or click the link in the description. Go there now and totally transform your music production.